Photographers, the way you get clients has changed forever. The industry is more competitive than ever. More photographers, more undercutting, and more clients shopping based on price. Now, this leads to endless price haggling, ghosting, and exhausting back and forths just to book a single shoot. Now, the problem isn't your fault. It's actually the outdated marketing tactics that you've been told to use. Instagram posts, paid ads, websites alone won't flood your calendar with high-value clients. If they did, you'd already be fully booked at premium rates. Here's why they fail. Instagram and Facebook tank your reach. Your posts barely get seen and you're at the mercy of algorithm. Ads without the right positioning are the equivalent of setting cash on fire. This is where most photographers burn cash. A website that doesn't pre-sell clients turns into a digital brochure collecting dust. When a client is pre-sold, they don't haggle. They don't ghost. They show up ready to book. Want to know how to make that happen? Keep watching. Listen. There's a better way. A system that attracts pre-sold, high-paying clients who already know they want to work with you before they even reach out. This means no more price shoppers trying to lowball you. No more ghosting after sending your rates. No more exhausting back and forth just to get a client to commit. Photographers using our S2C system have gone from struggling to scaling, from chasing leads to having clients come to them. And everything I'm about to show you today, it's not theory. We've worked with photographers at every level, from barely making ends meet to breaking six figures. Here are just a few real results from photographers who installed this system. Brand Pro Photography struggled at the start of the year. Now she's at $9,000 a month and on track for six figures. Browerman Photography doubled revenue in just a few months. Laura, a family photographer, 2.5x the client bookings in under 60 days. And Alex went from 7K a month to 13K a month after implementing the system. Almost double. Now, these photographers were exactly where you are right now. The difference? They watched a similar video to this. And today I'm not going to gatekeep anything. I'm going to walk you through exactly how it all works, step by step. Most photographers think they just need more exposure, more Instagram posts, more ads, more website traffic. But here's the hard truth. Getting attention alone won't get you booked. You don't just need more eyeballs on your work. You need the right clients already convinced you're the photographer for them. Clients who don't haggle, don't ghost, and don't waste your time. That's exactly what the S2C system does. It turns struggling photographers into fully booked professionals by attracting pre-sold high-paying clients who know they want to work with you before they even reach out. Let's talk about reality for a second. Not the fantasy version of marketing where a few Instagram posts magically fill your calendar, but the actual, brutal, and completely unavoidable reality of booking photography clients in 2025. If potential clients don't know you exist, they can't book you. Simple. Yet most photographers rely on hope marketing. Posting when they remember, crossing their fingers that someone stumbles onto their website. That's not a strategy. That's a hobby. We don't do hobbies. We build systems that turn cold strangers into pre-sold, high-paying clients who know they want to work with you before they ever reach out. Here's how this actually works. You see, Instagram is already sending you traffic whether you realize it or not. The problem is that most photographers treat their Instagram like an online scrapbook instead of a sales machine. The goal isn't likes. it's bookings. We rewire your Instagram so it converts traffic into paying clients. Google is an overlooked goldmine. Most photographers show up in search results without realizing it. The problem, if your website doesn't do the heavy lifting of convincing clients, they'll leave faster than they arrived. We fix that. Ads work, but only when they're done right. Throwing money at Facebook and Google without a tested system is a one-way ticket to burning cash. We structure ads in a way that brings in pre-qualified leads instead of random price shoppers. This isn't about going viral. That doesn't help local photographers. It's about getting in front of the right people, clients who are actively looking for a photographer like you. Most photographers treat Instagram like an art gallery instead of a storefront. They post their best shots, hope people are impressed, and wait for inquiries to roll in. The problem is that social media platforms are designed to limit your reach unless you play the game right. The first shift is understanding that Instagram is not your portfolio. It's your client attraction system. That means every post, every story, and every reel needs to have a strategic purpose. Attract, educate, or convert. Instead of just posting a nice image and writing, "Had so much fun at this session" in the caption, your content needs to address your client's specific fears, desires, and objections. Attract. Content that makes your ideal client stop scrolling. This could be a behind-the-scenes look at your work, a client transformation story, or a direct call-out to the people you want to work with. Educate. Content that makes your audience feel confident about hiring you. Address common questions before they even ask them. Why does professional branding photography matter? What should someone know before booking a wedding? Convert. These are subtle but clear invitations for the right clients to reach out. This doesn't mean writing "book me" under every post. It means guiding them naturally towards the next step, whether it's sending you a DM or clicking a link to inquire. Instagram's algorithm rewards engagement. The more people interact with your content, the more the platform will show it to others. But engagement isn't just about likes. It's about getting real conversations started in the DMs, because that's where bookings happen. If your profile isn't optimized to immediately communicate who you serve and why you're the best choice, you're losing leads before they even make it to your posts. Your bio, your highlights, and your pinned posts need to make it crystal clear who you are, what type of photography you specialize in, why someone should book you instead of someone else, and how they can take the next step. But even if you get your Instagram dialed in, you still have a bigger problem. What happens when people look you up on Google? Google is where the serious clients go. People don't type "wedding photographer near me" into Google for fun. They're searching because they need to book someone. And the problem? Most photographers have no idea how they're actually showing up in search, or if they're showing up at all. There's a good chance you're already ranking for certain keywords without even knowing it. But if your website isn't set up properly, the traffic you do get is not getting capitalized. Most photographers think they need to focus on getting more visitors. But that's the wrong move. You don't need more traffic. You need better traffic and a website that does the selling for you. If a potential client lands on your site and they don't instantly feel like they're in the right place, they're gone and they're not coming back. Your website's job isn't just to look pretty. It's to convince the right clients that you're the photographer for them. That means A clear, compelling headline that speaks directly to your ideal client's needs, not just "welcome to my portfolio." Strategic messaging that pre-sells your value, eliminating objections before they arise. Testimonials and social proof to reinforce why you're the only logical choice. And the simple, frictionless way to inquire. Because if they have to hunt for your contact form, they won't bother contacting. But even if your website is optimized, you still have a third challenge: ads. Photographers here run ads and assume that means boosting posts on Instagram or throwing money at Facebook and Google without a strategy. That's how people lose money on ads, not how they get clients. Ads only work when they're set up strategically. If you're sending cold traffic to a generic website, you're wasting your budget. Here's how ads actually work for photographers. Retargeting warm leads. This is where most clients don't book the first time they see you. Ads that follow up with people who have already visited your site convert at a much higher rate. Using intent-based targeting. Instead of just running generic hire me ads, we position your services in front of people actively looking for photography, not just scrolling past pretty pictures. Optimizing the messaging. Ads shouldn't feel like ads. They should feel like a natural extension of the client's search, reinforcing why now is the time to book. You're probably burning money on ads because you're sending the wrong message to the wrong audience at the wrong time. When done correctly, ads do not feel like a gamble. They feel like a machine that brings you booked clients consistently. This isn't about getting random attention. It's about getting in front of serious buyers, the people who are ready to hire a photographer and not just admire one. And that's how S2C works. Instead of relying on hope marketing, where you post and pray, we turn your traffic sources into predictable client generators. Every step, Instagram, Google, and ads is designed to do one thing: bring in the right kind of attention so you're never chasing clients again. And that's just step one. Here's where most photographers screw up. They get leads, they get inquiries, but they have no idea how to pre-sell those leads so that when clients reach out, they're already convinced. Let's get real. Right now, your potential clients are thinking, is this photographer really worth their price? Can they find someone cheaper? Do they even need professional photos? And that's why you're dealing with ghosting, price haggling, and endless time wasters. They aren't pre-sold. A lead means nothing if they aren't convinced they want to work with you before they even inquire. That's why we install a pre-selling system that does the work for you. Authority-based content removes objections before they happen. Most photographers avoid talking about pricing, their process, and why they charge what they do. That's a mistake. Clients need to see and believe in the value before they even contact you. Positioning eliminates competition. When this is done right, clients don't compare you to anyone else. They see you as the only logical choice. Messaging creates instant demand. Clients should land on your site or social media and immediately think, this is the photographer I need. When you do this right, you stop hearing, why do you charge this much? Can I get a discount? Or let me think about it. And you start hearing, when's your next available date? I love your work. How do I book? And where do I send the deposit? And that's the difference between cold leads and pre-sold clients. Most photographers assume that once they get an inquiry, their job is done. Someone showed interest, so now it's just about following up, answering questions, and hoping they book. But here's the truth. If a client is still asking questions about your price, your process, or whether they really need professional photos, you've already lost momentum. By the time a potential client reaches out, they should already be 90% convinced on working with you. No hesitation, no back and forth, and no "I'll think about it." Because the moment they start comparing you to other photographers or questioning whether your price is worth it, you're now in a negotiation instead of a sale. That's why pre-selling matters. It's what flips the conversation from "why should I work with you" to "how soon can I book?" Most photographers don't pre-sell at all. They post beautiful images and wait for someone to inquire. They hope they can convince them to move forward. But again, hope isn't a strategy. Pre-selling is. So how do you do it? It starts with eliminating friction before the inquiry stage ever happens. Every step of your client's journey, your Instagram, your website, your emails, your messaging, should be reinforcing the same message. This is the photographer I need. I trust this person to deliver the results I want, and I don't need to look anywhere else. When a client isn't pre-sold, they hesitate, and hesitation kills sales. Authority-based content is one of the fastest ways to remove objections before they ever come up. Most photographers are afraid to talk about their prices, their process, and why they charge what they do, because they think it'll scare potential clients away. But the opposite is true. The more transparent and educational you are, the more confident your clients feel. Think about it. When you shop for something expensive, do you go with the business that leaves you with unanswered questions, or the one that walks you through the decision so clearly that by the time you're done reading, you're ready to buy? If your social media and website don't actively answer your clients' unspoken questions, they will search for a photographer who does. What's included? How do I know if this is worth it? What makes this photographer different? And if you don't control that narrative, the only thing clients will use to compare you to others is price. That's why so many photographers get stuck with price shoppers. It's not that the rates are too high, they just aren't showing the value in a way that makes clients feel confident paying for their prices. Positioning is what makes you the only logical choice. If a client sees you as just another photographer, they'll compare you to every other option available. If they see you as the expert, as the authority, as the go-to name for the type of photography they need, they will stop looking elsewhere. Most photographers assume their images speak for themselves. They don't. Your work could be incredible, but without proper positioning, clients will still hesitate. They'll still wonder if they could get the same thing cheaper somewhere else. They'll still price shop. Positioning is what makes the difference between "what do you charge?" and "I love your work, how do I book?" Messaging is what creates instant demand. It's the words you use in your captions, your bio, your website, and even your responses to inquiries that dictate whether clients feel urgency or indifference. The right messaging makes people take action. Generic messaging like "I'd love to work with you" doesn't move the needle. Strategic messaging designed to create demand and urgency does. Instead of waiting for clients to decide if they should work with you, the right messaging makes them feel like they'll miss out if they don't book soon. If a client lands on your Instagram, website, or inquiry form and still needs convincing, your messaging isn't doing its job. When you pre-sell correctly, the entire client experience changes. No more ghosting after sending your prices. No more "I need to think about it." And no more price negotiations. Instead, you get serious pre-qualified clients who aren't just interested. They're ready. And the best part? Once you install S2C into your photography business, it keeps working for you. You don't have to chase leads. You don't have to constantly follow up or waste hours trying to sell your services to people who weren't serious in the first place. This is how top photographers remove themselves from the endless cycle of chasing clients and build a business that brings in consistent, high-value bookings without stress. If you're already getting clients, great, but are you in control of your bookings? Because if you're relying on word of mouth, referrals, or the occasional Instagram inquiry, that's not a business. That's hoping things work out. Top photographers do not rely on hope. They have a system that keeps them fully booked every single month, even at the rates they want to charge. They aren't scrambling for leads, and they don't feel the pressure to take low-paying gigs just to keep the lights on. Even if you're getting clients now, what happens when referrals slow down? What happens when inquiries start to dip? The photographers who win are the ones who take control of their client flow before they hit a slow season, not in the middle of it. Most photographers believe they need more and more leads every single month to grow. That's false. The fastest growing photographers don't just chase new clients, they stack demand. You have a hidden client list sitting right in front of you. Past clients are your biggest untapped sales force. We turn them into referral machines, testimonial powerhouses, and warm lead generators. Most photographers ignore their warm leads. That's a mistake. We implement a system to retarget people who have already shown you interest in your work. Bring them back when they're ready to book. You know the biggest mistake of all? Thinking that marketing is a one-time effort instead of an asset that keeps working for you. We don't do marketing tactics. We build marketing assets, content, positioning, funnels, and automation that continue to generate clients without requiring you to be glued to your phone 24/7. Most photographers operate their business like a bucket with a hole in the bottom. They're constantly pouring in new leads, new Instagram followers, new website visitors, new inquiries, but everything leaks out just as fast as it comes in. They assume they need more and more leads every single month to grow. That's wrong. The fastest growing photographers don't just chase new clients. They stack demand by leveraging the leads they've already captured. Think about it. At this very moment, there are past clients who would gladly book again, potential clients who almost inquired but got distracted, and leads who reached out once but didn't pull the trigger. And yet, most photographers ignore them and go back to square one, grinding for fresh leads, running more ads, posting more content, and hoping something sticks. You don't need more leads. You have to stop letting the ones you already have slip away. A client who already paid you once is 10 times more likely to book again than a complete stranger. But most photographers treat their past clients like a one-time transaction instead of a renewable asset. If you shoot weddings, these couples will need anniversary photos, family photos, maternity photos, and newborn photos, but only if they remember you exist. If you shoot branding sessions, your past clients will need updated content every few months if you give them a reason to come back. If you shoot portraits, many of your clients have friends, colleagues, and family members who would love to book you, but only if they were reminded to refer you. Most photographers hope past clients refer them, but again, hope isn't a strategy. Instead of waiting for clients to do it on their own, create an intentional referral system. It can be as simple as following up with past clients and letting them know they can get a bonus print, a discount, or something else of value when they send someone your way. Have you ever had a past client say they might need photos again someday but never followed up? Most people have good intentions, but they just end up getting busy. Sometimes they forget. Sometimes they assume you're fully booked. And sometimes they don't even realize they need new photos until you remind them. A simple follow-up, a check-in email, or even a personalized message saying, "Hey, I was thinking about our last shoot, are you due for an update?" can bring in an easy booking. The biggest missed opportunity in photography marketing is not staying visible to people who are already interested. If someone visits your website, clicks your inquiry form, or engages with your content but doesn't book, they shouldn't just disappear. Keep showing up in front of them. They already considered working with you once. They are much more likely to book than a cold lead. Even simple retargeting keeps them in your world instead of drifting off to another photographer. Most photographers think marketing means constantly chasing new leads, but the real money, it's in stacking demands so that past, current, and future clients keep coming back, keep referring, and keep seeing you as their go-to photographer. That's how you move from unpredictable bookings to a pipeline of clients that never runs dry. This isn't a bunch of theory. Here's what happened when real photographers installed S2C into their business. Brand Pro Photography struggled at the start of the year. Now she's at $9,000 a month and on track for 6 figures. Pro Photography doubled revenue in just months. Laura 2.5x client bookings in under 60 days. Alex went from 7K a month to 13 after installing S2C. Now, what about the metrics? Message response rates jumped from 10% to over 59%. Sales call close rates increased from 25% to 63%, and photographers doubled their prices without resistance. This isn't just marketing. It's a complete system that transforms photography business. And the best part, you don't have to figure it out on your own. We've linked a full breakdown of this system in a PDF below. It covers every step in detail, from traffic to conversion to automation. It's free and you can start implementing it today. But if you want to skip the trial and error and actually install S2C into your business, we're offering a free audit call, where we'll personally analyze your strategy and show you where you're leaving money on the table. By the time you finish watching this, you will realize something. You don't have a marketing problem. What? Didn't I just say you do earlier? Well, it's much bigger than just marketing. You have a system problem. And if you don't fix it, nothing changes. Click below to grab the full breakdown or book your free audit. Let's build your fully booked photography business. No matter if you're a photographer just starting out or already making multiple 6 figures, this works. And more importantly, it makes you money. Posting on Instagram and hoping for the best isn't marketing. Running ads without the right messaging is just setting cash on fire. SEO only works if people actually book once they find you. Maybe you don't have a lead problem. What if you have a conversion problem? Even when inquiries come in, you're stuck dealing with price shoppers, ghosting, and hesitant clients. You can't purely rely on attention. It has to be aimed. It's about pre-selling your clients so that when they reach out, they're already convinced you're the right photographer for them. No ghosting, no haggling, no chasing leads that were never serious in the first place. Marketing didn't fail you before. Marketing has made people billions of dollars. The strategy you were using was broken. S2C fixes that. The real question isn't, does this work? Because we both know it does. The real question is, how much longer are you willing to struggle? More competition, more price shoppers, and more photographers fighting for the same clients. Every month without a system in place means lost clients, lost revenue, lost time. A year from now, you could be exactly where you are today. Or you could be fully booked with dream clients charging what you're worth. The difference? Taking action now. Top photographers aren't waiting for the perfect time. They're using systems like S2C, and I'm giving it all away to you for free. Let's be completely upfront because I don't want to lie to you. Our done-for-you services are not for everyone. If you want to work with us directly, you should be ready to invest at least $1,000, but most importantly, your time. why would you pay us? Well, it's simple. You'll get to these results much quicker and easier. And if that makes you hesitate, if that feels out of reach, then you need the free guide more than anyone. Because every ghosted lead and every client who disappears after hearing your rates, every time you cave to a price shopper, this is all money you should have made. How much are you leaving on the table every single month just because you don't have a real system in place? Not having a predictable, repeatable way to attract high-paying clients isn't just frustrating, it's expensive. It forces you to take on low-ball gigs. It makes you dependent on referrals, which eventually dry up. It keeps you stuck in the cycle, where some months are great and others not so much. This isn't an expense, it's the solution to your revenue problem. Because once S2C is installed, budget is no longer an issue. Now, we are offering a live audit call where we personally assess your business and map out an exact strategy for you to get more high-value clients, starting immediately. Now, the worst case, you walk away with a completely free personalized roadmap to start booking clients. In the best case, we install S2C for you and you start booking your dream clients. You start charging premium rates without resistance, and you start scaling your photography business. You'll be working personally with us, where we will make sure you get these results stress-free. How much longer are you willing to wait? The right time isn't someday, it's right now. Click below and book your live audit. Most people will watch this, nod along, maybe even feel a spark of motivation, and then do nothing. Not because they don't want success, not because they don't want more clients, but because this change requires making a decision. That's what this is about. A decision. A year from now, you'll look back at this moment and see it as one of two things. Either the turning point where everything changed, or just another time you told yourself, I'll figure it out later. And later, it looks a lot like today. Still relying on word of mouth, still dealing with price shoppers, and still hoping next month is better than this one. But let's step into the other reality for a second. The one where you don't have to discount your prices. The one where clients come to you already convinced. The one where you open your inbox and you see inquiries from people who aren't just interested. They're ready to book. That reality doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you put a system in place that makes it happen. And if that's what you want, the next step is simple. You don't even have to waste months trying to piece this together on your own. You just have to decide. Do you really want to spend another 6 months chasing clients, lowering your prices, and overall feeling stuck? Or do you want to install a system that eliminates all of that? One path keeps you where you are. The other puts you in control of your business, your pricing, and most importantly, your future. We'll walk you through it step by step. We'll show you exactly how it works. And if it's a fit, we'll help you implement it. Click below and book a free call. Let's